Dan Everly. Hi, everyone. What a intro. Thanks, Laura. Okay, I'm at that point in my life where I need glasses. So first, I just want to say thank you to Environment California and the Monterey Bay Aquarium for hosting this event and for inviting me to say a few words. I'm really happy to be here with all of you to celebrate the 20th anniversary of California Ocean Day. Um, So, as Laura mentioned, before I worked at the Ocean Protection Council, I worked for an environmental NGO, and I participated in several ocean days many years ago. And I know how important it is to talk to decision makers about the fact that Californians care about the health of the ocean and maintaining access to the folks too. I also know how exhausting it is to have back-to-back meetings with legislators all day long. And so I hope that those of you that were marching around the Capitol today are relaxing and celebrating just a little bit. At OPC, we are working really hard to meet our mission of safeguarding coastal and ocean ecosystems now and into the future, with a focus on conserving biodiversity, building resilience to climate change, protecting public access, and strengthening partnerships with tribes and coastal communities. And we want to make sure that the work that we're doing is benefiting all who have for them. But we do not do this work alone. We work closely with our sister state agencies. I think there's representatives of almost everyone here, including the Coastal Commission, the Department of Fish and Wildlife, the Fish and Game Commission, the State Lands Commission, the Coastal Conservancy, the State Water Board, and state parks, the BCDC, and many others, and forgive me if I forgot you. We rely on the perspectives and the expertise of tribal leaders, scientists, fishermen, community members, and conservation advocates. And we have deep partnerships with federal agencies with whom we have leveraged resources and joint priorities to advance research, monitoring, enforcement, education, and management of our natural resources. So I just want to take a brief moment to acknowledge our federal partners in this work. If you are like me, you have close colleagues and friends who have retired from their positions or have been otherwise affected by what is happening in Washington. We are losing incredible institutional knowledge on one end, and we are also losing early career professionals who have brought in fresh energy, new ideas, and represented the next generation of ocean champions in California. I want to extend my deepest appreciation for these federal colleagues and their commitment and service to protecting our coast and coastal communities. This loss is real and will have lasting impact. So now, more than ever, California needs to lead and serve as a model for ocean conservation across the nation. Yeah. We need to hold strong to our values of equity and environmental justice, protecting nature and coastal access, and upholding our landmark environmental laws, including the Coastal Act and the Marine Life Protection Act. We know that a healthy ocean is good for everyone. It supports tourism and fishing industries, it drives our $45 billion coastal economy, and it provides a place for recreation, wonder, connection, and tribal practice. So on this 20th anniversary of California Ocean Day, let's acknowledge the progress we made and the challenges ahead. And let's keep fighting for what we love, the ocean. So thank you. One last thing before we go and I introduce our next speaker. There is a dear friend and colleague of all of ours who is not able to make it today, Caitlin Gaffney, and I would love to take a picture of all of you for her. So if you guys can all come in real quick and give me your best happy Ocean Day smile, I'm going to capture it for her. Are you ready? 1, 2, 3. That was some lackluster cheering, but good job on productions. Thanks, everyone. Okay, and then I think at this point, it is my privilege and honor to welcome Julie Packard to the stage. I don't think Julie is a stranger to anyone here, former executive and now board president of the Monterey Bay Aquarium, and just truly a leader in ocean conservation and education and making sure that science is really informing all of the work that we're doing for ocean conservation and protection. So Julie, welcome you to the stage.
Greetings, everyone. It's always so great to be here with you all. There's not enough blue in the audience, though. I mean, you need to up your wardrobe. I got mine. So, 20th anniversary is awesome. I mean, the first time I came to this event, it was so inspiring. I'm like, this is such a good idea. We got to keep it up. But it's just so cool. And if I had done more prep on my talk, I would iterate on what we've all accomplished together in the last 20 years. But you can imagine it, and that's a lot. It's awesome. It's amazing. And but I don't have to remind us that we're all living through really challenging times. But today, I mean, we're here to celebrate what we're able to do here in our amazing state of California. And I mean, we are undeterred here. I know all of you are. And there's so much progress we've already made and so much that we're going to be able to continue to make. And between safeguarding our natural resources, public access, protecting the most vulnerable from harm. Wow, who knows? The turtle? What is that noise? The turtle. Oh, yeah. Sorry. I just am like, what just happened? And of course, as I remind all of you, when we have this annual event, you all are leading the nation in what sound environmental policy looks like, but even more important, leading what it looks like when you apply sound environmental policy to what covers 97% of the living space on our planet. And not that many decades ago, when people talked about the environmental movement and all the wonderful NGOs and advocate groups that we founded and many of you worked for, a few decades ago, it's just all about the land, all the time. And then, we added in the atmosphere, and we're missing the key component here. So an ocean still needs more fans, more people working on its behalf. And of course, we know more and more these days, ocean and climate change and what's happening on land, it's all totally connected. And we've got to continue to fight on behalf of the healthy ocean because it's critical to everything else, including us. So really proud of all that Monterey Bay Aquarium has accomplished. We started out just as what we hope would be a fun place to learn. And I love meeting some of you. I was just talking to CalPERG campus leader she grew up at the aquarium and was really inspired. And we love those stories. Thank you so much. I love to hear that you're out spreading the word. And it's just a reminder we all need to keep inspiring the next generation. And that's how it all works. Pay it forward. And of course, none of the work happens without all the agency leaders and staff. So a huge thanks to you. You're doing the real work. We're here to support. So big thanks to everyone, leaders and staff, and obviously, of course, our colleagues in the NGO community. So, as we know, the current administration is working really hard to undermine all the good work we've done in the nation and at the state. But as I said, at the aquarium, we are undeterred, and we all should be so grateful to be living here in California, where I know we have the spirit to continue to fire up undeterred and hold our ground, hopefully continue to make progress too. And, there's just too much at stake for everyone with the amazing 40 million people that live here and all the beautiful ocean and natural resources we have to let us lose any ground on all of that. And We've seen what we can accomplish. And of course, none of it would have happened without people standing tall and being fierce and sticking with it in the time of adversity and just not giving up. So, as I said, guarantee you the aquarium standing tall, and we are standing here with you. So, I'm really I just so love the fact that when I come to these events, I get to honor some amazing folks who have been big contributors to advancing the protection and restoration of the ocean. And tonight I get to honor three incredible people, three ocean champions whose work really exemplifies the hard work and the vision and the tenacity that has kept our state of California at the forefront of ocean policy and environmental leadership. So now it's time to honor those folks. And first, I'm pleased to recognize Assemblymember Rebecca Bauer-Cahan for so many contributions. Give her a hand. And what an amazing contributor. I want to thank you for your contributions and commitment to reducing plastic pollution and in the ocean and communities by championing amazing legislation that you worked so hard along with other advocates, and also for your dedication to reduce microplastic pollution, which is such a problem, and you've shown such a strong commitment. And it's the plastic problem is just rising higher and higher. 10 or 15 years ago, it was not on people's screen, and it's amazing that we've been able to show leadership here in California thanks to leaders like you. So it's my great honor and pleasure to present you with our California Ocean Champion Award. And someone will and invite you up to the stage to so a couple words. Yeah.
Good evening. Well, thank you all for being here. I know my partner in this work, Senator Blake Spear, is here, but I can't express enough the gratitude for each and every one of you for showing up, giving your time, and advocating on behalf of California's oceans. The last month or so, I've had the privilege of being on the coast from Orange County to Northern California, Marin, Monterey, and watching the dolphins and the sea otters and enjoying everything California's coast has to offer. And as I was sitting there with my son and my dog watching the dolphins play in the ocean, I thought about the impact, the work that each and every one of you is having, coming to the Capitol, advocating for our oceans, advocating for our environment, and protecting the wildlife for whom nobody but you is speaking. And it really is so critically important to have your voices here. And I have the privilege of being in office, of representing 500,000 Californians, of introducing bills that address microplastics and plastic bags, and working on SB 54 enforcement. But we can't do any of that without you bringing the voice of California's people and California's environment to the Capitol and helping us convince our colleagues that this is a priority for California. And there's no question that it is. But the animals don't have million-dollar lobbyists like the special interests do. And so it requires the CalPERG students and the ambassadors from the Monterey Bay Aquarium and Environment California and all of their amazing students to show up and to really bring the power of California's voices to this work. And it is why we achieve so much. And so I really just wanted to take this moment to thank you for your partnership in this work and for making California the amazing place where I was born and raised and where I'm now raising my children, knowing that we will do our best to hand an environment to my children that is at least as good as the one I inherited. I gave up better than the one I inherited a long time ago, but I'll take for at least as good. And right now, with the Trump administration trying to roll back everything California has done, your voice is so much more important than it has ever been. So thank you. Thank you for this honor. Thank you for being my partner in this work. Thank you for always showing up to advocate. And thank you for taking care of California's environment.
I would say great time.
This way? Yeah, let's keep it up to the third, like. Not really. Oh. New that's check. Check. Okay. Welcome. Check. Then clean. Here's it's a big word.
So now I'm pleased to recognize Senator Catherine Blakespear, who is chair of the Senate Environmental Quality Committee. Give a hand. So Senator Blakespear, as I'm sure you all know, has demonstrated really bold leadership in the Senate, consistently walking the talk with zero waste initiatives and leading the charge to fully eliminate single-use plastic bags at grocery stores. So it's been a long road, longer than we thought, and has taken a lot of attention. And I really want to applaud you for your ongoing commitment to eliminate plastic pollution from our ocean, our coast, and our communities by consistently urging effective implementation of SB 54, which is, you all know, I'm sure, is the first law in the nation, most progressive law around plastic pollution in the nation that is attacking it at its source. And it's very complicated, and I know a lot of folks are working on it, and there's a lot of powers working against it, and really appreciate your advocacy. So, and another thing that's really great about it is that it's first allocate funding to our communities who are hit hardest by the impact of plastic pollution, which is, obviously, it's not just about the ocean, it's about communities that are affected by all of our practices that need to improve. So thank you so much, Senator, for stepping up and joining us as we all work together to eliminate single-use plastic. Congratulations. Safely.
Let's we with the federal hold. Yeah, that to go.
Well, hello, everybody. Thank you so much for having me today. Hello. Yes, thank you. I'm Senator Catherine Blakespear, and it's truly an honor to be here with so many like-minded people who care about the same things that I care about. I'm in my third year now in the state Senate, and it's been so tremendous to have partnerships like with Assemblymember Bauer Kahan. We together were the authors of the plastic bag ban bill, and that, the reality is that we work on a lot of policy level things, but the real tangible removal of plastic bags from grocery stores, which hasn't happened yet, but will happen as of January of this next year. Yes, it's millions of pounds of plastic that will not be going into our oceans and blowing around in all of our ecosystems. So that is something that we all will feel and touch and experience, and know that you can use a paper bag just as easily. You can actually better is bring your reusable bag. And we would say that and have press conferences, and I was so grateful for the incredible support from CalPERG, the students who came and with the turtle, and there was a big plastic bag monster, and demonstrating what it looks like to have so much plastic. Those visuals really make a difference. So, and you are carrying that. Assemblymember Bauer Kahan said it really well, thanking you and recognizing that we have to stand on someone's shoulders. So if we are here with our own little flag saying we care about the ocean, we care about ecosystems, we care about habitat preservation, but nobody else does, then nobody takes you seriously. So all of you going around and meeting with people, all of the news articles, all the advertisements, all the press conferences, it really, really matters. So I just want to say a big thank you. And I also want to recognize Jennifer Fearing. She's right here in the front. She does amazing work here in the Capitol. There's so many times where something has to be crystallized into a thought or an action or a proposal, and having those deep minds that are able to translate environmental values into action, that's so valuable. So I want to say a big thank you for recognizing this today. Recognizing me with this today. I come from being the mayor of a coastal city, the city of Encinitas, and I care deeply about the ocean, as I know many of you do, and that's why it's tremendously heartwarming to have that recognized today. So thank you again.
License.
Well, thank you again, Senator. You would think that a plastic bag ban, given that many countries in the world have it already, that it would not be that difficult in the state of California. But Senator mentioned the interest and the money on the other side, and it's just unbelievable. You know, it's like passing the bill is just the start, and staying on getting that passed is a heavy lift. So you're not done. And I also should mention, in these times, the work we're doing, you know, we all talk a lot, hear a lot about how everything is getting so politicized, whatever the issue is. And I don't know about you, but I really noticed that. I know we're kind of in a bubble here in certain parts of California, but I was in a grocery store in a kind of a more conservative part of the state on a few weeks ago, and the bagger gave me a total stink eye for asking for a paper bag. He was about to lecture me about it. And then his boss, cashier, kind of said, no, don't. Landis, what? What is this? I mean, it's the law. I mean, you're obviously going to wait till the last hour to actually have to implement it. But in any case, important work. And so, last but not least, really excited to be able to honor Director Zoe Heller of the California Department of Resources, Recycling, and Recovery, and her amazing staff who have been working so hard on the whole zero waste, implementing SB 54, super complicated, so much work, and we're just so grateful that you bring not only the zero waste goal, but also commitment to environmental justice. From your career with the federal government to your leadership role at CalRecycle. So also really appreciate you and your staff's focus on bringing a robust public engagement process, which is always a key to success, although time consuming, and that's been going on over the past 2 years, which is a lot of work to develop timely and meaningful regulations to implement this groundbreaking bill. So your continued commitment and that of the team to uphold its strong source reduction, community protections, pollution mitigation funding provisions that are a model of what public service looks like. And it's my great pleasure and honor to present Director Zoe Heller, CalRecycle, with California Ocean Champion Award.
That's an I kept milk, please. Not shut, please.
Good one.
Good evening, everyone. Oh, wow, this is loud. This is such an incredible honor, and just want to thank all of you here who have been, many of you who have been partners through the SB 54 process, and also leaders in reducing plastic pollution throughout the state and beyond. Duly acknowledge the CalRecycle team. We have almost 800 staff, many of who are working on plastic pollution reduction, many of who have been engaged in the 54 process over the last couple of years. Their dedication has gotten us to where we are today, where we've been able to meet some of the milestones in Senate Bill 54, announcing that extended polystyrene food service ware can no longer be sold, distributed, or imported into the state of California. It's a huge milestone, and we're so excited for the progress that we'll be seeing in the coming months as a result. As many of you know, we've reinitiated the regulatory process, so we'll keep having public engagement. We have a meeting on May 27th to discuss some of the new regulatory concepts and are really excited to initiate the formal process again so we can get the regulations done, start implementing, start collecting the funding that will go into the mitigation fund, and start seeing real progress on the ground. So thank you all for your partnership. Thank you all for your work. At CalRecycle, we have an open door policy and would love to hear your ideas about how we can do even better. Deeply honored to be here and look forward to a continued partnership with all of you.
The what business?
So are you the closer here? I will step off the stage. Again, congratulations to everyone we honored tonight, and thank all of you so much. More work to do. Fire up, and I'm looking forward to everyone being together a year from now to celebrate success. Thank you.
Coach. And before you go, actually, I want to bring up, you want to stay right here, Julie. I wanted to bring up Dan, Marseille, Jennifer Savage, who together helped to do a lot of Ocean Days. Or to you, or please them first.
Thank you all very much for being here. It's a real honor to be here. I can tell you that, raise your hand if you were at the first Ocean's Day.
I want to choose.
Oh, not if it's your first Ocean's Day, which is also awesome. If you were at the first Ocean's Day, which was 20 years ago, there were a few of us here, and it looked a lot different. There were about 8 of us. We went to the Sacramento Library, and we gave our first Ocean's Day award to Senator John Laird, who was then Assembly Member John Laird. And we really had no idea that Ocean's Day would turn into what it's turned into, but I can say it's totally cool that it's turned into what it's turned into. And so I'm going to turn it over quickly to 2 of my folks who have been sort of the longest serving co-chairs with me on this. And I'll turn it over to Jennifer and then to Marseille. And then I'll give you some of the numbers on Ocean's Day. Jennifer?
Thank you. So in 2009, I attended my first Ocean Day. And at the time, I was a small town news reporter and modern rock DJ. And weirdly enough, that led to an opportunity to work in California policy on the Marine Life Protection Act in the North Coast. And I have never looked back. And I'm so incredibly grateful to have stumbled into a career protecting the ocean, which I love so much, as do all of us. And that opportunity was a direct result of the work that's been done here. Thank you. I'll pass it to Mike.
Hello. So thank you again, everybody, for being here. You know, these days we talk a lot about California's standing in the world, especially in the new reality that we talk about. And people around the world ask, hey, what's California doing on ocean protection? How is California leading? And I think that a lot of people don't realize that a lot of that standing and that leadership and that inspiration, we can point back to not just a Monterey Bay Aquarium, but Julie Packard. And so when people around the world, with people throughout Latin America, people in other countries ask, hey, what are you guys doing? How are you advancing this? A lot of that had its beginning. A lot of that was inspired by this great work. And so I think it's time. It's time.
It's time. So we have the Ocean's Day Lifetime Achievement Award, which goes to Julie Packard. And I'll say, for those of us that have ever slogged through the Capitol fighting day after day to try to pass a specific piece of ocean legislation, nothing has meant more to us than hearing Julie Packard supports this. To see Julie Packard's name on an op-ed supporting the bill, to hear that Julie Packard was going to make phone calls into legislators to help get this done, to hear that Julie Packard was going to come up to Sacramento and lobby and help get this done, to hear that Julie Packard was going to talk to the governor's office and make sure that the bill was signed, and, to be honest, to hear that Julie Packard was going to come to Ocean's Day is what made Ocean's Day Ocean's Day. And let me just give you some numbers before we give her the final awards. I counted, and just so we have a good idea. First of all, we've had 54 interns that have worked to produce Ocean's Day. So if you've ever been an intern to produce Ocean's Day, give yourself a round of applause. We have supported 137 bills on Ocean's Day. So that's pretty good. If you've ever supported a bill, that's part of that number. We have done 2,000, I think, according to the numbers today, 2,137 face-to-face meetings with legislators over the past 20 years. So if you've done a face-to-face meeting with a legislator, give yourself a round of applause. And I think I have the number right today. 4,365 people have come to Ocean's Day over the past 20 years. And it started with 8 of us around a small circle. So give yourselves a big round of applause, but really give Julie Packard a big round of applause. And from all of us that have worked on Ocean's Day over the past 20 years, we want to give you the Lifetime Achievement Award for Oceans Day and say none of this would have been possible without your workmanship.
How could you go? Something good. I wanna. It did that. Did it?
Well, don't I told us about so simple.
You know,
Don't sit that. I mean,
would it be late? What?
that's sort of, you say, recorded that yourself.
Thank you so much, all of you wonderful people. I just want to say that
Dude.
what he was saying about people listening to me and it's really all about the aquarium. And so shout out to our entire team. You know, when we started the aquarium, we thought we were just at an aquarium. And I was like, we got to get people fired up to make change for the better on behalf of the ocean. And we just celebrated our 40th year last year, or the year before. I guess it was last year, amazing track. And it's unbelievable the impact that the aquarium has had, and it's such a privilege and honor for me to be the face of the aquarium and really standing on the shoulders of our amazing institution. That's the result of so many people working hard and being creative and all of that. But it does start with the fact that my family, we're a California family. We love the state. We love California nature. And the whole idea with the aquarium was to celebrate, expose awareness, and get people to know and love the part of California nature that most of us don't have a chance to get inside and see. And there's a lot we're saving in this amazing part of the world that where we're privileged to live. Our state has a lot of problems, for sure, a lot of things that we need to solve. But the work that you all are making possible on behalf of the environment is really, it will endure. And it's really legacy investments that we're making in this place that has drawn such an amazing population of people, so much creativity, so much good work. So thank you for that. Let's keep California at the forefront and fire up for the next few months and the next year, and we will see you next time. Thank you.
That's